Welcome to the campus of Cal Lutheran University. Ryan Milano, Knight Uretsky on hand as the San Luis Obispo Blues come to town. The Conejo Oaks play host. In the field for Conejo, the starting lineups. In left field, it's Austin Carrillo. In center field, Raul Sandoval, and in right, TJ Foreman. On the infield from right to left, Brendan Bobo at first, Grant Smith at second, JT Naviak at short, and Greg Melhoff at third. Behind the dish is Anson Arrows, and on the hill today is Chris Torres. For the San Luis Obispo Blues, their lineup at number one is the center fielder Ryan Cermak, followed up by TJ Clarkson, the CCL RBI leader Mason Grotto, AJ Esperanza in the fourth spot, Justin Trimble batting fifth, Austin Kretschmar at third base, Nick Costello batting seventh in left field, Mark Armstrong, he's eighth and behind the dish, and then Ruben Mercado is the shortstop, rounding out the order for the Blues. On the hill for the Blues when they will come to defense in the bottom of the first inning will be Mike Gutierrez. This game, ever important in CCL standings, the SLO Blues, they lead by a game and a half over the Conejo Oaks. The Oaks need a win here if they're going to come back and try to surpass the Blues with just 1 week left and one game after this one is concluded. Leading off, it's going to be Ryan Cermak. He's a right-hander facing off against Torres, also a right-hander. First pitch lined into center field. Sandoval tracking into right center. He makes the play, and one pitch, one out. Ryan Cermak, he will not continue his hot start after a little bit of a season action. He did not play for a few games, but once he came back, played incredibly well. He's a .313 batting average on the year. That will dip slightly. So an F8 to start off the game to make way for TJ Clarkson. Clarkson, he bats .284 on the season. He's had 88 at-bats, 25 hits in them. Breaking ball right into the middle of the zone. Torres' breaking ball was located well, an indication of things to come if Torres has his way on the hill. The 0-1 at the knees, but just below the count 1-1. So TJ Clarkson, he's trying to get a hit in the 2 spot. Fouls off a pitch, count 1-2. Clarkson has struck out 28 times on the season. That is tied for the most of any Blue on the year. The leadoff hitter, Cermak, is the only one that's tied with him. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, lined into left center field. It gets down in front of Carrillo, and a one-out single to put a runner on first base for TJ Clarkson, and the Blues have their first base runner.
And the way that the Conejo Oaks have been shifting towards left-handed batters is putting that shortstop right over second base and having the second baseman shifted more towards the right field side. And right there, Clarkson, he went opposite field right over where the normal shortstop would be, sent it to the left center field gap opposite way. And it was just a nice line drive that Carrillo couldn't get to.
Mason Grotto, the 3-0 hitter, watches the first pitch, called for a strike on the outside part of the plate, the count 0-1. Grotto has had a fantastic season for the Blues. He plays on the infield at both third and second base. Today he's getting the start at second as the pickoff back to first is not in time to get Clarkson, who dives back in safely. Grotto on the season batting .383, also leads the CCL in RBI with 38. The 0-1 breaking ball dives out of the zone. The count is 1-1 to Grotto. And so, Knight, we've seen Mason Grotto a few times this year. What have you seen from his fantastic season, at least when he plays against the Oaks?
Well, Mason Grotto consistently is a really good hitter. And, you mentioned the third and second base performances.
As he lines one into right field, Foreman coming in, makes the play, and the second out of the inning is credited to TJ Foreman as a line drive was just hit right to the speedster in right field and 2 outs in the inning.
And that was a nice line drive, but Foreman able to catch it. But going back to Grotto, we've also seen him at left field, so he's a very versatile player, normally really good defensively. And right there, he's had a little bit of struggle hitting against the Oaks, but right there, able to line drive it. And, he's done that all year against the Oaks. Some of them, they do fall. Some of them, they don't.
Pickoff back to first. Back in safely again is TJ Clarkson. AJ Esperanza, he's the man in the box, a left-hander. Esperanza on the season, batting .316. He came late in the year from Stanford. Watches a pitch run off the plate, count 1-0. And since Esperanza has come over, he's been at least solid, to say the least, for the San Luis Obispo Blues. He's been excellent at getting extra base hits when he has put the ball in play. Pickoff back to first, back in safely is Clarkson. He's had 12 hits on the season. 6 of them have been for extra bases. 2 of them have been the long ball. The 1-0. He watches it, missed the plate outside. The count is 2-0.
He mentioned the 2 home runs. His biggest home run was that go-ahead shot against the Conejo Oaks in that game where they came from behind in San Luis Obispo. So, he's been able to drive the ball against the Oaks over the fence.
2-0 the count. Torres delivers, misses the zone high and outside. It's the first time Torres has been behind in the count today, and it is 3-0. Esperanza, he's walked 7 times on the season. Trying to reach number 8 to make way to the on-deck hitter, Justin Trimble. The 3-0 pitch right in the middle of the zone for a strike. The count 3-1. So, no green light given in the box to A.J. Esperanza. He's now going to have to battle from a 3-1 count. Still ahead in the count. Torres trying to fight his way back into it. The 3-1. Misses the zone, low and inside, and A.J. Esperanza is the second base runner. And the first walk of the day for Chris Torres.
Yeah, and that's just not a great at-bat for Torres. He gets behind 3-0. Does get a strike, but that's consistently going to be called on a 3-0 count. Not many batters are going to swing at that. It's called for a strike, and then the 5th pitch, it misses, and that's a walk right there. You put a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, and, that's just not a great at-bat if you were Chris Torres.
Another left-handed hitter, it's Justin Trimble. He watches a pitch run away. The count 1-0. Trimble on the year. He plays defense in right field also sometimes as a pitcher. He's batting .214 on the season. He hasn't had a ton of at-bats. Only 14 on the year. We've seen him a few times against the Oaks. The 1-0 cut through and missed. The count is 1-1. So Trimble this year, he played in the July 4th game against the Oaks as well as the July 9th game. He also pitched in the game against the Oaks on July 10th. So the Oaks, they've seen a lot of Trimble, more than any other team. He is 1 for 6 in his at-bats against Conejo. The 1-1 pitch, a breaking ball that just dives low of the zone. The count 2-1.
Yeah, Anson Arrows, the catcher right there, he shook his head. He didn't think that was a ball, and certainly I didn't either, but the umpire right there has the better vision. He calls it a ball, and it is a ball.
Clarkson at second, Esperanza at first. The 2-1 pitch on the outside part of the plate, a strike, paints the black. It's the first well-executed fastball, or the best-executed fastball we've seen from Torres today. A few times his fastball has run arm side on him. That one, it stayed straight, stayed into Anson Arrows' glove, and was called for a strike. The count is 2-2 to Trimble. The 2-2 pitch fought off out of play. So we'll do 2-2 again. JT Naviak, the shortstop, he's holding on the runner in Clarkson at second base. He's standing directly behind that second base bag. A pull left-hander at the plate. So Naviak trying to not allow for a ball to go through up the middle. The 2-2 pitch fouled off again, so Trimble not going down easily as he continues to foul off pitches. He's had 6 strikeouts in his 14 at-bats this season. He does not want to make that 7. Esperanza at first, Clarkson at second. Outfield shaded to the pull side to a left-handed hitter. The 2-2. Breaking ball line to Grant Smith at second base. Perfect positioning, and the inning is over. 2 runners are stranded off of 1 hit and 1 walk. No runs scored, no errors in the inning. To the bottom of the first we go. The Oaks take their chance at offense on the Oaks live stream. Back here in the bottom of the first inning, the Oaks taking their crack at the batting side of things. My apologies to AJ Esperanza. In the first inning, I misidentified him. I said he went to Stanford. He doesn't. He went to Cuesta College. I was confusing him and Vince Martinez, who was another usual DH for the Blues, but is not playing today. Austin Carrillo, he's leading things off. He's starting in left field. Mike Gutierrez is a man on the hill for the San Luis Obispo Blues. Gutierrez, he has a 5.40 ERA on the season. First pitch to Carrillo. Misses, high and tight. Count 1-0 to Carrillo. Austin, on the season, he's been batting well. .267 batting average with a .425 on base percentage. The 1-0, Carrillo looks at it, misses the zone, too far up. The count 2-0 to Carrillo. Austin Carrillo, his batting average and his on-base percentage has been high all season. It's been even higher as of late. In his last 12 at-bats, he's reached base in 6 of them. The 2-0, grounded up the middle. The second baseman, Grotto, is there to field it, throws to first. A stretch from Clarkson, but gloves it and makes the out. So Carrillo goes down with a 4-3, and Grant Smith in the 2-hole will come to the plate.
Yeah, and Carrillo batting in the leadoff spot here today. The first time he did it, it was 2 games ago, and he did really good. In that game, he had 3 singles in that performance, but today he starts out with a ground out. Had 2 straight balls, which goes towards his good eye that he has at the plate. But right there, got a little bit jammed inside. It was a soft grounder to Grotto, the second baseman, and it was an easy play for the first out for the Blues.
Grant Smith, he's batting .250 on the year. First pitch to him, runs inside, the count 1-0. Gutierrez, he's had 21 2/3 innings pitched on the year. He's 24 strikeouts and 11 walks to go along with it. Smith fouls one back out of play, count 1-1. In the only appearance against the Oaks, Gutierrez started on July 4th. He pitched 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, only 2 of them were earned. That went along with 4 hits and 2 walks, 6 strikeouts as well in the outing as Smith watches the 1-1 pitch run away. The count 2-1. Grant Smith trying to get back on track. He had an 8-game hitting streak, and since that hitting streak was broken, he's 0 for his last 17. The 2-1, Smith watches it, miss above the zone, so now Grant Smith ahead in the count, 3-1. That 0 for 17 doesn't mean he hasn't been getting on base. He just hasn't been getting hits. Few errors, few walks in that stretch. Smith watched a pitch above the zone that will add to his walk total. He gets aboard on first base. 5-pitch walk, similar to the second batter, or similar rather to the first inning. The Blues had their second batter on, and then their 4th batter, he had a 5-pitch walk as well. So a little bit of parallels from the Grant Smith at-bat to both of the base runners that came to the plate, or came to the base paths for the Blues. That brings up Raul Sandoval. First pitch to Sandoval. Misses above the zone. The count 1-0. Sandoval, he's batting .169 on the year. His on-base percentage on the season is .265, but in the second half of the season, he's been heating up. Gutierrez checks the runner at first, goes to Sandoval, skies one into shallow right field. Tracking over is Trimble towards the line, makes the play, and 2 outs in the inning as Sandoval. It's a towering shot that stays in the yard and stays into the glove of Justin Trimble.
Yeah, and that's something that we've seen from Sandoval all season, just getting a little bit just under a ball, and right there, got a little under it. Sent it high in the air, but just not a lot of power on it. It wasn't the greatest contact because he got so under it. And right there, that's an easy out for Trimble, an easy fly ball to field in right field.
So Smith on first. He's getting held on by Clarkson. Brendan Durfee, he comes to the plate. First pitch to Durfee, fought off the hands, back into the screen. The count 0-1. Durfee, the second left-hander that Gutierrez is going to face today. Brendan on the season, he's batting .257 with a .419 on base percentage and 43 plate appearances. The 0-1. Durfee swings, chops it to Gutierrez back on the hill. Sprints over to first, underhands it, and the inning is over. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and Grant Smith left on first base after the 5-pitch walk. We head to the second inning when we come back on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Austin Kretschmar leading off the second inning for the Blues. 6, 7, 8, Kretschmar, Nick Costello, and Mark Armstrong due up to face Chris Torres. First pitch, breaking ball in the zone on the outside half. Count 0-1 to Kretschmar. Batting just south of 300 on the season, 298. Had 17 hits and 57 at-bats. And lines one to left field. Carrillo making chase towards the line and makes the play on the run. He doesn't want Kretschmar to get over that 300 mark. Hard hit ball, but right into Austin Carrillo. And Carrillo saves extra bases for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that was an impressive play by Carrillo right there. It just worked out that he's a left-handed thrower. As he was running towards his right side, he had his right hand, which is his glove side, on that side as he was running, able to make the play on the run. His full arm extended, and that was a heck of a play on a line drive.
First pitch, a strike on the outside third to Nick Costello. Costello, a left-handed bat. So, after the right-hander in Kretschmar, brings up Costello, who rolls one over outside of the bag at first. Bobo gave it a look, but saw that it was going to roll foul. So the count 0-2 quickly to Nick Costello, who is batting .053 on the season and 19 at-bats. He has just one solo hit. The 0-2 gives him his second hit of the season. He lines it right back up the middle, and Nick Costello reaches first base, the second time that the Blues have had a one-out single.
And there you go. That's just a great way to get your second hit of the year. Just a line drive right up the middle. The infield was shifted, but he hit it to the part where the infielders were not shifted. Naviak was on the left side of the bag. He hit it on the right side of the bag and able to drive it to center field, put a runner on for himself in the Blues.
Mark Armstrong, not a typical catcher, or not the typical starting catcher for the Blues. He only has 13 at-bats on the season. First pitch to him, in there for a strike, the count 0-1. Normally we see Austin Schell or Vince Martinez in the lineup behind the dish, but neither of them are in the lineup today. And A.J. Esperanza, another catcher for the team, he's designated hitting today. Torres checks the runner back at first. It was a close play at first, but Costello got in there just in time. The tag from Bobo was close. The Oaks dugout got excited, but the call was not made. So the count, 0-1.
Armstrong's a tiny guy. He's only 5'8". Look how tiny he is.
Pickoff back to first. It's about my height. I don't appreciate you calling us short kings tiny.
No, 5'8" is definitely small, especially for a baseball player.
We were actually, during batting practice, me and Austin Carrillo were measuring up as the 0-1 misses inside 1-1. And it's decided that Austin has an inch on me. And on the roster, he's listed as 5'10". I'm 5'8". The players in the outfield said that maybe an inch. So We think that Austin gave himself an extra inch on the roster sheet as the 1-1 grounded to Smith at second base. The turn to Naviak, relay to first, and it's in time. A 4-6-3 double play to get out of the inning. And Chris Torres has his first 1-2-3 inning of the game. We'll be back for the bottom of the second inning. The Oaks try to strike first on the Conejo live stream. Bottom of the second inning, the Oaks trying to strike first. Anson Arrows leading off the inning. He's batting fifth today. Arrows batting .310 on the season. First pitch to him. Misses below the zone. The count 1-0. Arrows a switch hitter. He's batting in the right-handed batter box against the lefty in Gutierrez. The 1-0 pitch. Arrows watches it. It catches this corner low and inside. The count 1-1. So Anson Arrows, he has been phenomenal on the season when he's gotten in the game. He has a .481 on base percentage with a .310 batting average. It's the 1-1, runs outside. The count 2-1. But Arrows, over the last few weeks, he hasn't seen consistent action. And that is because the catcher position, it's a position where you need a lot of durability and a lot of stamina. You need some breaks behind the dish as the 2-1 catches the zone, the count 2-2. And the Oaks, they have a lot of catchers. Brendan Durfee, he got back into fielding shape. Yesterday was his first game behind the dish of the season. They also have Andrew Sharp, Caden Suji, and Cody Sulak, who all play catcher. So a lot of innings as Arrows skies one back out of play. He stays alive in the count. 2-2 is the count. So it's a lot of work to try to get behind the dish as a catcher, but the way that Arrows has been swinging the ball all season, swinging the bat all season at the plate, and the way he's been showcasing his arm behind the dish when runners are trying to go, it's earned him the primary catching duties on the season. The 2-2, Arrows swings, grounds one foul into the Oaks dugout. Count still 2-2 as Arrows stays alive.
And we've seen Arrows throughout the year have moments like this at bat where he's fouled off a lot of pitches, kept the bat alive, extended counts, and right here he's fouled off a couple of pitches. It's a 2-2 count. He's trying to make it work, and you know, consistently throughout the year he's done it great, and only 7 strikeouts to go with it.
The 2-2, high and away from Arrows. It takes Armstrong out of his stance, prevents him from going to the backstop, and the count has run full. Already 7 pitches in the at-bat. The 8th pitch coming to Anson Arrows. Arrows has 8 walks and 7 strikeouts on the season. The 3-2 skied high down the left field line. Tracking back is the third baseman Kretschmar in the bullpen. Makes the snag over his shoulder. A great play by Kretschmar to retire arrows after a battle.
Yeah, and that's a heck of a play right there. He's running, and he catches the ball right over his head. I mean, he didn't even turn around. It's a tough play to track it. It's kind of like a wide receiver catching a pass that's over his shoulder right there, able to make the play, and it's an excellent play. But Anson Arrows at 8 pitches at bat, able to work the count, and only 12 pitches last inning for Gutierrez, and right there, 8 pitches to start off this inning. So Arrows, although he got an out, he did extend the count.
Brendan Bobo watches the first pitch in for a strike, the count 0-1. He's batting .271 on the season. His batting average has had a lot of ebbs and flows. It started out on a mountaintop, then dipped, and now is crawling its way back up. The 0-1, Bobo off the hands in foul territory. Kretschmar chasing after this one, but it's going to drop before you can get to that one. Not another athletic play for Kretschmar. Bobo, in his last 8 at-bats, he is 3 for 8 at the plate with 2 extra base hits. He had a triple yesterday and a bases-clearing double 2 days ago. Now he's going to have to battle from 0-2. He's seen a lot of 2-strike counts over the last few days. The 0-2 pitch, breaking ball, loops above the zone, the count 1-2.
Yeah, and you mentioned him seeing a lot of 2-strike counts. Yesterday he had 3 2-strike counts, and a majority of them he started down 0-2 and was able to battle off a little, get some more balls, and work the count a little bit to have more success in his at-bats.
The 1-2, Bobo watches a pinch, get behind the catcher Armstrong and roll to the backstop, but no one on first base, so no harm done. Count is 2-2 to Brendan Bobo, who on the season has 28 strikeouts, but as of late has been doing a better job of staying alive in counts once he's gone down. He did strike out yesterday, but he made the pitcher work for it. It was a 7-pitch battle. He also struck out the day before, another 7-pitch strikeout. Breaking ball, it was diving out of the zone. Bobo protecting the plate, fouls it off, stays alive. The count still 2-2 from Bobo. So again, Bobo doing a better job of locating, putting his bat to the ball, and not going down swinging. That's been one of the things that he's been working on this season. It's been one of the more drastic improvements we've seen from Brendan Bobo. The 2-2 again, Bobo sharply fouled outside of the bag at first. So the 2-2 is still going in the count. Bobo has seen 6 pitches already in this at-bat. He's about to see the 7th. Gutierrez, his pitch count is already running up at least a little bit. He had 12 pitches in the first inning. He's already thrown 14 here with the 15th incoming. Bobo grounds it, second base. Grotto makes the snag, spins, throws to first, and Mason Grotto steals a hit from Brendan Bobo.
That was a hard hit ball, but it bounced a lot and had a high chopper effect to it. And because of that high chopper effect, Grotto was able to run towards his left, buy a little bit more time, stretch out his left arm, which is his glove side arm, catch the ball, spin, and fire toward first. Bobo not the fastest batter, but a little bit of speed, but an easy play for Grotto after he made the play catching the ball and then able to throw it over to first.
And now a volcano comes to the plate in JT Naviak. First pitch to him, catches the zone for a strike. The reason he's a volcano is because he is red hot at the plate right now. He is swinging the bat better than any stretch for an Oak the entire season as the 0-1 in the zone for a strike to count 0-2. In his last 22 at-bats, he's reached base in 16 of them. He's 11 for 18 in his batting average in his last 18 credited at-bats. JT Naviak has been swinging the bat incredibly well, and he fouls off a pitch to stay alive. The count is 0-2.
It's an interesting comparison, calling him a volcano.
He's from Hawaii. There's a lot of heritage there with volcanoes.
Yeah,
where this entire island came from, and he's on fire. You don't want to. Don't touch JT Naviak right now. You might burn yourself. The 0-2 breaking ball misses the zone inside. The count 1-2.
I don't know. Red hot and volcano to me don't go hand in hand. To me, I think a better claim would say that he's been explosive at the plate like a volcano, but you know, you do you.
Try touching lava. The 1-2. Naviak fouls it off out of play. The count's still 1-2 as Naviak continues to stay alive. This stretch has brought his batting average all the way up to .264 on the season. His on-base percentage at .379. His batting average throughout the majority of the year was sitting right around the Mendoza line, but after this stretch, he's brought it up to not only respectable, but very solid as the 1-2 line into left field. It's going back in Mercado underneath it as off the end of the bat, Naviak just wasn't able to get enough barrel on it. So JT is retired, and so is the inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Mike Gutierrez. Top of the third as Torres gets to work when we come back. Chris Torres back to work in the third inning. 9-1-2. Mercado, Cermak, Clarkson due up for the Blues. First pitch, Mercado grounds it to Bobo at first, and he's going to step on first base himself. Opposite way, hard hit grounder, but Brendan Bobo able to field it. A new hot corner at first as the first out of the inning is recorded on one pitch.
Yeah, in the last, 3 games, we've seen so many 3 unassisted plays. There's another one right there. Mercado, he goes opposite way, bounces it to Bobo. It was a hard-hit line drive ball on the ground. Bobo able to field it, tap on first, and that's an easy first out.
First pitch to Ryan Cermak. Misses off the plate. The count 1-0. Cermak, his first time up. First pitch swinging. Ended up flying out to Raul Sandoval in dead center. The 1-0. Cut on and missed. Elevated fastball. Cermak couldn't catch up. The count is 1-1. Ryan Cermak. We mentioned him batting .313 on the season. He's been the leadoff hitter trying to get a one-out hit. Lines one into left center field. Sandoval tracking back to the gap underneath it. Makes the play. And we've seen the Blues drive the ball to the outfield, but just haven't been able to get it down. Only 2 hits on the day for San Luis Obispo as Cermak, he flies out to Sandoval for the second time today.
And right there, he hit that ball hard to left center field. But the way that the wind carries the ball here, it wasn't as long of a run for Sandoval as initially hit, as the ball was carried a little bit towards center field a little bit, so Sandoval able to make the play, no issues at all.
TJ Clarkson, he's 1 for 1 today in the first inning. He had a single. It went through the left side of the infield. So the Blues have been driving the ball to the outfield, but both their hits have come off ground balls as the 1-0 pitch to Chris Torres, or from Chris Torres, misses high. The count is 2-0 to TJ Clarkson. So Clarkson's single grounded between Melhoff and Naviak, and then in the second inning, Nick Costello, he grounded one right up the middle. This time he lines one into left field. Carrillo coming in at his feet, makes the snag on the carpet, picks it before it hits the ground, and another 1-2-3 inning for Torres. On just 7 pitches, he retires the side. The bottom of the third when we come back on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Welcome back to George Sparky Anderson Field here at Ullman Stadium at the campus of Cal Lutheran University. Greg Melhoff, he's playing the hot corner today. He's also leading off the third inning. It's his first time to the plate. TJ Foreman, he hasn't seen the plate yet. He's on deck. And then it's going to be Austin Carrillo to round out the third inning. Melhoff watches the first pitch from Gutierrez and miss at the letters. Count 1-0. So we've seen a few high fastballs from Gutierrez that haven't been called. The 1-0 outside part of the plate called for a strike. The count 1-1. And what I've identified from the umpire strike zone, at least early here in this game, is that he likes pitches low in the zone. He'll give a little bit extra on the corners, but he won't give anything up top. The 1-1 breaking ball drops right into the zone. That was a perfectly executed breaking ball from Gutierrez. It looked like it was coming at the elbow of Melhoff, and it dropped right into the center of the zone. The 1-2 to Melhoff. Swings, bounced, foul. The 1-2 still coming up as Melhoff is batting .188 on the year. He's had 32 at-bats, just 6 hits to show for it. 2 doubles and 4 singles. He's also walked twice. That's where he gets his .235 on base percentage from. The 1-2 breaking ball. This one doesn't drop into the zone. It stays up and misses the zone. So the count is 2-2.
And right now, the Oaks, they've been doing a really good job extending counts. The first inning, only 12 pitches from Gutierrez, but the last 3 batters, 8 pitches, 7 pitches, 6 pitches, and now this is a 6-pitch at bat.
Melhoff lines one right back up the middle. It bounces right behind second base, and Greg Melhoff gets his 7th hit of the season. And he leads off the third inning with a single. Leadoff base runner on for the Oaks, and the statistics will show when you get your leadoff base runner on, you are significantly more likely to plate a run in the inning. TJ Foreman trying to turn the lineup over from the 9 spot.
And having TJ Foreman in this 9 spot is a great location for him. He's a pretty good hitter on the year, and having him in the 9 spot, it's basically like a leadoff hitter to help your leadoff hitter.
First pitch, Foreman squares to bunt. The pitch runs low and inside. He pulls it back. The count 1-0. Foreman on the season batting .257 with a .400 on base percentage. He has 110 plate appearances on the year, but yesterday and the day prior, Foreman not in the starting lineup. It's rather unusual not to see him. He did pinch hit in yesterday's game. So he took 2 consecutive seats for what I believe is the first time all season. Squares to bunt again, puts it down, but it fouled straight back. Looked like it might have caught Armstrong on his bare hand. Armstrong, not shaken up, is rubbing that hand a little bit, but doesn't seem like it's too crucial as the 1-1 is going to be pitched to TJ Foreman. Melhoff on first, the left-hander in Gutierrez forces Melhoff to have a subsided lead. Clarkson holding him on at first. The 1-1, pickoff back to first. Melhoff gets caught off the bag. He's in a pickle, running to second base. The slide in doesn't avoid the tag, and he is out. He gets picked off, and I think that's the second time that Melhoff has been picked off on the season.
I believe it is, too, and, that's just unfortunate. You have a left-hander in Gutierrez, and he just fires it to first. Melhoff, he's fooled, wasn't expecting it, and he gets caught. And right after getting a leadoff hit, that's a tough break because now there's 1 out and nobody on.
So Foreman, he's not going to be trying to bunt anymore. The 1-1, skies one high into shallow center field. Going in is Cermak, going back is Grotto. Cermak makes the play, and the second out of the inning leaves the top of the order to come up for the Oaks.
And Foreman right there, that's another thing that he's been working on. Him and Raul Sandoval, both the outfielders for the Oaks with a little bit of speed. They've been getting under balls a little bit, and that's something they've been trying to work on. They've been trying to line out more balls, and right there, Foreman just got a little bit too under it, and they flew out to center field.
Austin Carrillo trying to keep the inning alive with 2 outs. First time up, Carrillo grounded out to Mason Grotto at second base. This is the second consecutive day night that we've seen a navy blue on navy blue jersey combination. First pitch, Carrillo grounds it down the line at first. The play by Gutierrez, tries to flip it with his glove. He can, and Austin Carrillo, he gets aboard with the bump base hit. He loves to do that, and he's successful with it. He gets a base runner on with 2 outs.
Yeah, and why not? He's so good at bunting. He can go up the line. He's a left-handed batter, and so if he hits it up the left field line, first baseline, excuse me, he's able to carry the momentum with him as he's heading up the first baseline. He has a little bit of a head start because he's on the right side of the plate, and that batter's box is a left-handed hitter, and so he's able to use his speed, get to first, and even Gutierrez, the pitcher, he had a tough play, and he tried to glove flip it, but even with that, that's not very accurate.
Smith, he reached base his first time up, saw 5 pitches and was awarded first on a walk. First pitch he sees, fouls it straight back, the count 0-1. And Knight, talk about the Jersey matchup we see today and how we continue to see Navy on Navy.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do. I think the Oaks, they just love wearing their navy blues at homes. That is their natural home uniform. In San Luis Obispo, this is the second time we've seen them wear these navy blue uniforms.
Gutierrez picks back at first. Carrillo identifies it. He's not going to be the second one picked off of the inning.
But I honestly love these uniforms for SLO. I think the jersey vest is awesome. I do wish they had the undershirt be a different color than navy blue. I think it takes away from these jerseys a little bit.
The undershirt should be white.
The undershirt should be gray because it matches the pants.
The 1-0, or the 0-1, excuse me. Smith watches it, catch the knees, the count 0-2.
White at home, gray on the road.
Well, the vest on the jerseys, the outline of the lettering is white, so I think that either white or gray could work.
Either way, I don't know. I think the gray on the shoulder side with the sleeves, I think that would match the pants really well, and I think it'd look really good.
I think you're right. The 0-2. Smith swinging a miss, ball in the dirt. The tag not applied. The throw to first is there in time, and the inning is over. So 2 hits, but the pickoff from Melhoff only strands 1, and no runs, no errors scored in the inning. We will head to the 4th inning. This game still tied at 0 on the Oaks live stream. Top of the 4th inning, middle innings is Knight's play-by-play time. Knight Uretsky take over for Ryan Milano on play-by-play.
Thank you, Ryan Milano. Mason Grotto, AJ Esperanza, and Justin Trimble do up for the San Luis Obispo Blues. They're all facing off against Chris Torres, who's still on the mound. He's had back-to-back 1-2-3 innings, although in the second he did allow a hit before forcing a double play. First pitch to Grotto misses outside. It was an off-speed pitch. 1-0 the count. Grotto today, he flew out in his first time up. That was in the first inning. Flew out to the right fielder, TJ Foreman, after getting a 1-1 count. Second pitch in, misses, and now the count's quickly 2-0 to Mason Grotto, who's today's playing at second base. First time all season we've seen Grotto at second base. We've seen him at third base or left field. Now the first time the right side of the field for Grotto. The 2-0 pitch to Grotto from Torres misses. Above the letters, now 3-0 the count.
It's just the first time the Oaks have seen Grotto at second base. He has played second base throughout the season against other teams, but Conejo hasn't seen him at that position yet until today.
The 3-0 pitch from Torres. Called for a strike right at the knees, and now the count's 3-1.
Torres has been working through innings lately. After the first, where he threw 20 pitches, he only threw 8 in the second and 7 in the third, both 1, 2, 3 innings.
Fifth pitch of this at bat misses away, and a 5-pitch at bat to Grotto ends in a walk, and the leadoff man's aboard for the Blues.
And a short prediction that I don't think that this inning will be as short as the second or the third after that 5-pitch walk. But he did get a double play in the second inning to get out a base runner. Still on the table.
Although it's unlikely, it still is possible. There could be a double play on the next pitch, and then the next batter could hit the first pitch, and you'd have back-to-back 7-pitch innings. But 5 pitches so far, a walk and a runner on first for A.J. Esperanza, who grounds it to the right side. Grant Smith fields it, flips it to first, no double play, but a ground out to A.J. Esperanza to Grant Smith.
And that was a nice play by Grant Smith. It was a tough chopper, and it bounced right under the glove. He was able to pick it clean and throw over to first. You're right, there was no play. It was similar to the double play in which Smith was moving to the first base side, but that time it was too slow of a roller for Smith to turn, throw to second, and then have a relay. So he just took the first out at first base to get the first out of the inning.
So now Justin Trimble up to the plate. The runner on second after Grotto advanced after the ground out by A.J. Esperanza. First pitch to Trimble. He bounces it up the middle. Naviak fields it. The shortstop, he throws across the diamond to first, and now quickly 2 pitches and 2 outs. Almost had the prediction correct. 7 pitches so far. I said maybe a bouncer towards a double play. There was a ball hit in the infield. It was a ground out, and that was A.J. Esperanza. And then the next batter, he hit the first pitch, but it was another ground out. No double play. 7 pitches so far, though.
First pitch out to Kretschmar would make my prediction wrong. Would tie the second inning. So Chris Torres trying to prove me wrong.
Runner on third, 2 outs. The first pitch to Kretschmar misses, and Ryan, your prediction is right. So 1-0 the count to Kretschmar. Kretschmar first came up in the second inning, now up for the second time today, now here in the fourth. In the second, he saw 2 pitches, had an 0-1 count before lining out to Austin Carrillo. It was a hard-hit ball. Second pitch to him, he lines it the other way to T.J. Foreman, the right fielder. He gives chase towards the line, makes the catch on the run, and that'll do it for this fourth inning. So after allowing the leadoff walk, 4 pitches, 3 outs from Chris Torres, and we head to the bottom of the fourth inning, still tied at 0. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Bottom of the fourth inning, Raul Sandoval, Brendan Durfee, and Anson Arrows due up for the Conejo Oaks in this 0-0 game against the San Luis Obispo Blues. 2 hits apiece, but no runs for either team. As Raul Sandoval looks at the first pitch, it's above the letters, it's a ball, and 1-0 the count. Raul Sandoval, his first time up, he saw 2 pitches, had a 1-0 count before flying out to the right fielder, Justin Trimble. Now looking to change his luck as he swings and misses at the 1-0 pitch. Counts quickly even 1-1. Raul Sandoval yesterday, he had that single that he came around to score in the second, as well as a double in the sixth. Did strike out, though, on 3 pitches in his last at bat.
And this is the best stretch of the season for Raul Sandoval. Even the times he's been getting out, when he's put the ball in play, he's been barreling it up.
Swing and a miss on the 1-1 pitch, and now Raul Sandoval gets behind 1-2. 2 hits in each of the last 2 games for Raul Sandoval. So had 2 hits against the Riptide on July 22nd, and then 2 hits yesterday against the Saints. Had 3 RBIs in that game against the Riptide as he watches a pitch miss outside, and now the count's even 2-2. Sandoval from Oxnard plays at UC Davis, although UC Davis's baseball program has been suspended, so a little bit up in air, finding out what's happening with the Aggie program. As Sandoval rockets one to left, going back is the left fielder Costello at the wall, and that one's out.
And Raul Sandoval put a charge in one, but as we've talked about all season long, it is incredibly difficult to hit a ball out to dead left field. JT Naviak bucked the trend yesterday. It would have been incredible if it would have happened in back-to-back days. Sandoval just got to the wall. Not enough on it, but that ball was rocketed. That ball's barreled up. It's the theme for Sandoval all season long, or at least in the second half, where he's been barreling up balls, but just right at the defense.
I know, got a little excited after Naviak's home run yesterday. First pitch to Brennan Durfee, misses an off-speed pitch that missed high, 1-0 the count. Durfee, his last time up was in the first. He ended the inning after grounding out to the pitcher Gutierrez. And now a 1-0 count here in the fourth. Second pitch to him, called for a strike as he looked at it on the outside part of the plate. 1-1 to Durfee. Durfee was batting in the 5 spot yesterday. Today, batting in the 4 spot. He did have a single to right field yesterday in the second inning, as the third pitch to him is called for a strike. And quickly 1-2 to Durfee. Saw Sandoval get behind 1-2, and now Durfee, he's behind 1-2. 2-1. So 2-1 the count to Brendan Durfee.
No, it's 1-2.
Okay, so I had it right. They had it wrong on the board, then the umpire fixed it, and now Durfee grounds it foul. And now the count's 1-2. Still, fifth pitch of the at-bat coming up. So I had 1-2. The umpire waved his arms. The board was 2-1, so I thought they switched it, and then they flipped it back to 1-2. Nevertheless, 1-2 the count. Durfee at the plate. Fifth pitch of the at-bat coming up. Off speed, goes opposite way on a blooper off the end of the bat. Caught by the shortstop Mercado, and quickly 2 outs.
Yeah, we've seen a few times today off the end of the bat where Mercado's had to do his work. JT Naviak had a similar play that was just into shallow left field, and right there, Durfee, eerily similar to what we saw in that at-bat in the second inning.
So 10 pitches in the inning, 2 outs, and now Anson Arrows steps up to the plate with nobody on, up for the second time today. First pitch, Arrows grounds it to the left side, and that's going to get through for a base hit. A single for Anson Arrows with 2 outs, and the Oaks, they have a runner on.
And so 2 out base runners in both the third and now the fourth inning. Anson Arrows trying to advance the base paths like Austin Carrillo couldn't in the last inning, and that's going to rely on how well Brendan Bobo can perform at the plate right here.
So Brendan Bobo comes up to the plate with Anson Arrows at first. Bobo, his first time up, he had a 7-pitch at bat that he battled in, but eventually lost the battle to Gutierrez as he grounded out to Mason Grotto. Fouled off a couple of pitches in that bat, but no success. First pitch to him here, off-speed curveball missed away, and now 1-0 the count. Mentioned it before, Bobo had that triple yesterday, but then he was out at home plate after JT Naviak grounded it towards the right side of the infield. The first baseman picked it up, threw it home, and Bobo was out at the plate. This pitch misses high, and Arrows is taking a turn towards second. Takes a long round, but he's going to stay there at second after the wild pitch from Gutierrez.
And so this has been an interesting pitcher's duel, at least to start in the game, between Gutierrez and Chris Torres. Both pitchers have given up multiple runs in every single game that they've had against CCL opponents. Torres, in his last 2 performances, has given up a total of 11 earned runs, and Gutierrez is not far behind him in that sense. But Gutierrez, in his last 3 performances, has given up 9 earned runs.
Another pitch misses outside, so 3-0 the count to Brendan Bobo. Runner on second, and Anson Arrows, that's the go-ahead run in scoring position as the Oaks, they're looking to take the lead. Lefty on lefty matchup. Let's see if Bobo gets the green light on the 3-0. The pitch almost clipped him on the head. It did not either way. And that is a walk. So Bobo heads to first. 4-pitch walk to him. So right after getting 2 outs, you get a first pitch swinging from Arrows, which results in a single. And now a 4-pitch walk to Brendan Bobo.
Yeah, and the confusion, Brendan Bobo didn't run down to first base. It's because the scoreboard was wrong. It said it was a 2-0 count before the pitch. It was 3-0. A little bit short-staffed downstairs in the press box. There's a few people that are missing today, so they're doing their best down there.
So now JT Naviak comes up to the plate. 2 runners on, 2 outs. First pitch to Naviak. Misses high and 1-0 the count, so 5 straight balls from Gutierrez. Naviak, who's red hot, like we've mentioned, up for the second time. His first time, though, he did fly out to the shortstop Mercado after he got the ball on the end of the bat. Second pitch to Naviak, misses low and in the dirt, and quickly 2-0 count to JT Naviak.
Yeah, and a hitter's count to someone who you do not want to give a hitter's count to, but 2-0 right here with 6 consecutive balls that have been thrown by Gutierrez. I'm not sure if Naviak is going to swing. I think he has the green light, but I think if you've seen someone throw 6 balls in a row, you're going to watch him throw pitches until he throws a strike.
So 2-0 the count, Arrows at second, Bobo at first. It's a lefty on righty matchup. Outfield position towards the right side. Pitch to Naviak. He swings, he fouls it off, and he got the green light on the 2-0. He swung, but it's a foul off, and 2-1 the count now.
Yeah, and that one was a well-located pitch from Gutierrez. It would have been close. It was on the inside third. Naviak just couldn't speed up to it.
Naviak, who had the home run yesterday in the 9th inning, that moonshot over the left field wall, looking to drive in some runs here, get the first run of the game on the board. The 2-1, Naviak fouls it away, and now the count's quickly even 2-2, and got to think that talk from Armstrong really helped out Gutierrez after that discussion, fired back with back-to-back strikes.
And right now, Naviak, he was behind on those 2 pitches. He was out in front on the ball he put into play in his last at-bat. That's why he was off the end of the bat to Mercado. Maybe he's dialing that into his swing approach, and he's behind.
The 2-2 pitch gets behind Naviak. Heading over to third is Arrows. He's going to stop there. Over to second is Bobo, and now 2 runners in scoring position, a 3-2 count, and 2 outs for Naviak.
And so the Oaks, they have been pretty bad in terms of situational hitting over the last few days, over the last few weeks. And right now, JT Naviak with an opportunity to break this scoreless tie with 2 runners in scoring position and a ball on a 3-2 count that Gutierrez can't afford to leave out of the zone.
First base is open. Greg Melhoff on deck. The 3-2 pitch. Naviak swings through it, and that'll do it for the bottom of the 4th inning. So the Oaks strand 2 runners in scoring position after Anson Arrow's 2-out single and Brendan Bobo's 2-out walk. We head to the 5th inning, still knotted at 0. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Top of the 5th inning, still knotted at 0. 3 hits for the Conejo Oaks, 2 hits for the San Luis Obispo Blues. Nick Costello, Mark Armstrong, and Ruben Mercado due up for the Blues, the 7, 8, and 9-hole hitters. First pitch from Torres called for a strike to Costello. 0-1 the count. Torres, he's been impressive in each of the last 3 innings. 8 pitches, 7 pitches, and 9 pitches. Now the second pitch to Costello just misses outside. Now the count's quickly even, 1-1.
So my prediction in the 4th inning after that 5-pitch walk, was technically correct, but Torres just close to proving me wrong.
The 1-1 off speed called for a strike on the outside part of the plate, and Torres gets ahead 1-2 the count. Costello, his first time up, he saw 3 pitches, got behind 0-2, but then had his second hit of the year as he singled right up the middle. The 1-2 pitch to him, check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. And now the count's even 2-2. Mentioned Costello only had 1 hit and 19 at-bats coming into this game. Now 2 hits and 20 at-bats. The 2-2 pitch misses away, and now a full count to Nick Costello. It's the first time today that Chris Torres has faced a full count batter.
Yeah, and it's one of the longer counts that he's seen on the day. The longest count was then the first inning, a 7-pitch at-bat to Justin Trimble, but
here he walks Costello, so the full count battle goes to Costello, and a 6-pitch at-bat ends in a walk.
And so Torres right there loses a batter in a battle, and it's the first time that he's had to battle with a batter outside of the Justin Trimble line out that he forced at the end of the first inning, and he just didn't respond with a pitch into the zone. Right here, after he's been working through batters incredibly well throughout the entire day, wonder if he's going to come back and attack Mark Armstrong.
Runner goes. Armstrong foul-tipped it, so a hit-and-run opportunity for Armstrong, but he foul-tips it right at the plate, and 0-1 the count. Costello, he's going to have to track back from second, back to first, and Armstrong didn't get success on that hit-and-run play, and 0-1 count.
And so the runner's going, and we know Ansonero's propensity to throw runners out from behind the dish. If you're running, if you're Nick Costello, you better be sure that you can get to second base. He only has 1 stolen bag on the season.
Throw back to first. Torres tries to keep him there. In there safely is Costello. Still awaiting the 0-1 count is Armstrong. Armstrong came in to bat the last time up after Costello singled. He then grounded into a double play, now showing bunt here. Tried to bunt, was foul, and now counts quickly 0-2, and Armstrong, he's not going to bunt here with an 0-2 count.
And that's an interesting plate approach from Mark Armstrong. You swing away and foul off a pitch when the runner's going. Then you try to lay one down, and I assume that was a called designed play by the third base coach or maybe even the manager that's inside of the dugout because the runner wasn't going on that pitch. So trying to advance that runner, but thought it was an interesting sequence of doing it.
Coach Solis talking with the umpire. Everything looks squared away. Solis goes back towards the dugout. Nevertheless, 0-2 the count, nobody out. Costello on first. Torres on the mound, the 9th pitch of the incoming. He's going to show bunt again. The pitch, he does bunt with 2 strikes, lays it down, Torres fields it, throws to first. The play is made, and man, what a risky play by Armstrong.
Yeah, gutsy play by Armstrong. Squares to bunt, and I was confused. 2 strikes squaring to bunt, but he put it down. He put it in fair territory. We've seen a lot this season. People square to bunt and not be able to put it down. Armstrong, he came through, did his job, and advanced the runner.
It's an impressive play. It's very intense, especially with those 2 strikes, because if he bunts it foul, then it's an out. Does lay it down. Torres fields it, throws to first, and quickly 1 out. But the runner, Costello, does advance to second. So runner in scoring position for the Blues. Ruben Mercado, the 9-hole hitter at the plate. First pitch to Mercado, check swing. He did go, and it's a strike, so 0-1 the count to Mercado. Mercado, the first time he came up was 2 innings ago in the 3rd. He led off the inning, and he grounded out to Brendan Bobo. As Bobo fielded it, tapped on first, and Mercado was quickly retired. Now an 0-1 count with 1 out and a runner at second. Smith, the second baseman, Holden. Pitch, and Mercado grounds it towards the left side. Melhoff, the third baseman, fields it. The throw across the diamond. The play is made, and Mercado's retired, but Costello advances to third on the ground out.
So this is the second time that the Blues have had a runner on third base. They had it in last inning. Mason Grotto, he reached base on a walk, then got all the way to third. 3 consecutive outs were able to retire the side for the Blues. Now, similar scenario, leadoff walk, 2 straight outs, a runner on third base trying to get out of the inning against the leadoff hitter.
So now Ryan Cermak, the leadoff hitter of the game for the Blues, comes up to the plate. First pitch to him, off speed, curveball dropped in the zone. It's a strike, 0-1 the count. Cermak today 0 for 2, both flyouts to center field, one on the first pitch he saw in the first and one on the third pitch he saw in the third. The 0-1 pitch misses high. Arrows was positioned outside. The pitch missed high from Torres. Now the count's even 1-1. 0-0 the score. Runner in scoring position. The pitch from Torres, and Cermak lines one towards left field. Carrillo going back at the wall. Makes the catch at the warning track, and that'll do it for the top of the fifth inning. So the Blues leave a runner in scoring position at third and Costello stranded after 3 straight outs from Torres. We head to the bottom half of the inning, still knotted at 0. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Bottom of the fifth inning. We're halfway through, and it's still 0-0. The Conejo Oaks, they're looking to take the lead here in the bottom of the fifth. Greg Melhoff, TJ Foreman, and Austin Carrillo do up the 8, 9, and 1-hole hitters. First pitch to Melhoff, catches the knees, an off-speed pitch from Gutierrez, and 0-1 the count. Melhoff, his first time up, he quickly got down 0-2 before seeing 2 balls and fouling off a pitch before getting a single. Swings and misses at the 0-1 here, and he's quickly down 0-2 for the second time today. Melhoff, that single was right up the middle. It was a nice swing of the bat, but he was thrown out. He was picked off by Gutierrez at first, and that was his day so far. The 0-2 pitch, he fouls it off, just stays alive. He's got a little bit of contact, not a lot. And it's now the fourth pitch coming.
Yeah, and it's been really good pitch sequencing from Gutierrez. He started off breaking ball that went into the zone, then came back with the same breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. It dove out of the zone, forced a swing, and then went back with a fastball elevated.
The 0-2 pitch, Melhoff grounds it to the right side, fielded by Clarkson. He goes, taps on first, and Melhoff's retired. So far, 71 pitches for Gutierrez through 4 1/3. 4 pitches so far in this inning. Had 21 pitches last inning. He also had 21 pitches in the second. But sandwiched in between them, he had a 13-pitch inning in the third and a 12-pitch inning in the first. TJ Foreman, the 9-hole hitter and the second batter of the inning for the Oaks, steps up to the plate, looks at the first pitch to him. It's called for a strike. 0-1 the count to Foreman. Foreman, he flew out to center field on a ball that he got severely under in the third. The center fielder, Cermak, was able to make the play as the second pitch to Foreman and off speed. He just got contact on it as he fouls it off, and quickly 0-2 to Foreman, just like we saw quickly 0-2 to Melhoff. It's a fairly overcast day here in Thousand Oaks. Normally you see a lot of blue sky. Here today, a majority of the sky is clouds. Foreman lines it on the ground to the shortstop Mercado. He picks it up, throws across the diamond, and Foreman's retired on the third pitch to him.
And Foreman, he tried to leg out a single. Mercado had a little bit of trouble in the transfer from his glove to his hand, but he was able to recover in time to get the speedster going down the base paths.
So 2 outs already after Melhoff's ground out to first and Foreman's ground out to shortstop. The Oaks, they had their first 2 batters out in the 4th last inning where Antonero singled. He later came around to third after a couple of wild pitches. Brendan Bobo, he walked in that inning. They had 2 runners in scoring position, the Oaks did, but JT Naviak struck out with runners at second and third. As Carrillo now going to go the opposite way, that's going to get down for a base hit. Catching on first and heading to second is Carrillo, and a 2-out double for Austin Carrillo, and a runner in scoring position for the Oaks.
And it's just been a really good stretch for Austin Carrillo, and he continues to attack first pitches in at-bats. In the 3rd inning, came up with 2 outs, attacked the first pitch he saw, deposited it for a single. This time, first pitch he saw, shot it the other way, just over the third baseman's head, right down the line, and was able to get to second. Now Grant Smith in a big spot to try to drive in his teammate.
And now a meeting happening between Mark Armstrong, the catcher, and Gutierrez. Mike and Mark there.
Mike and Mark, that should be a talk show.
Mike and Mark?
Yeah, it's like Mike and Mike. It's just the off-brand version.
Mike and Mark, the great value version of Mike and Mike. So Carrillo at second after the 2-out double. Grant Smith coming up to the plate, and Grant Smith, he's been cold as ice. Hasn't been swinging the bat fairly well, but has a chance to drive in the first run of the day as the first pitch misses. Now it's 1-0 the count to Grant Smith. Today, Grant Smith, he got on in the first with a walk. It was a 5-pitch at bat to him, but in the third, 3 straight strikes to him as he struck out swinging. That ended the inning. Now in a crucial spot here, 2 outs, runner on second. The 1-0 pitch. Smith drives it towards center, coming in as Cermak. He's not going to get there. Goes off him. Carrillo's coming around third. He's going to score, and the Oaks, they take the lead. It's 1-0.
And Grant Smith, a great job to buck a cold streak, hitting one right back up the middle where it came from for a single, driving in the first run of the game. And this is really the first time in a few days where we've seen the Oaks come through with the big-time situational hit, and it's off the bat of Grant Smith.
Huge at bat and back-to-back hits for the Oaks with 2 outs. And, you know, all season the Oaks, the 2-out hitting, they do it again here in the 5th. They take a 1-0 lead as Raul Sandoval swings at the first pitch to him. 0-1 the count early. So, Grant Smith, the RBI single, he's at first. Raul Sandoval, 0 for 2 today, a fly out to right field and a fly out to left field. The 0-1 pitch to him misses away, and the count's even 1-1. Sandoval, that fly out to left field was a hard hit ball that he barreled, but the wind caught it here at Cal Lutheran. Was right at the track for Costello. And Sandoval was retired for the first out last inning in the 4th. The 1-1, Sandoval check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. And now Sandoval gets behind 1-2.
And that fly ball to left, it goes both ways. Sandoval would have had a home run in any other park, but so would Ryan Cermak to end the last inning for the Blues on the other side. They both hit towering shots to the warning track and dead left.
1-2 the count, 2 outs, runner on first. The pitch to Sandoval, an off-speed that missed high at the letters. Now the count's even 2-2. Consistently throughout the day, we've seen the umpire call those pitches just at the letters balls. So a pretty consistent strike zone there today from this home plate umpire. The 2-2 pitch as the runner goes. Swing and a miss from Sandoval, and that'll do it for the 5th inning. 2 hits for the Oaks, and 1 run comes in on the RBI single by Grant Smith. We head to the 6th inning. The Oaks, they're leading now. It's 1-0. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you here in the top of the 6th inning. The Conejo Oaks, they just took the lead. It's 1-0 after the RBI single by Grant Smith after the 2-out double by Austin Carrillo. Chris Torres still on the mound for the Conejo Oaks. He's pitched 5 scoreless innings, only allowing 2 hits. Now pitching here in the 6th. First pitch fouled off by TJ Clarkson. The count's 0-1. TJ Clarkson, Mason Grotto, and AJ Esperanza due up for the Blues, the meat of the order, the 2, the 3, and the 4-hole hitters. And the 0-1 pitch from Torres misses just outside, and the count's even 1-1 to TJ Clarkson. Clarkson today, he's 1 for 2, had a single in the first that he advanced to second, but he was left stranded there. And in the third, he lined out. Now here, takes a pitch. It's called for a strike at the knees, and now the count's 1-2 to TJ Clarkson.
And Torres, he's been effective today on the hill. He's been phenomenal through 5, but he still doesn't have a strikeout to his name yet.
The 1-2 pitch, Clarkson grounds just foul down the first base line. Got a little bit too early on that off-speed pitch from Torres. 5th pitch incoming to Clarkson with a 1-2 count. Clarkson pitches and plays for the Blues as the 1-2 misses away, and now the count's 2-2. Clarkson, he's pitched in 7 games, and then he's played in 29 games overall batting-wise, so consistently playing for the Blues as the 2-2 pitch to him looks at it and misses below the knees, and now the 7th pitch incoming. It's a full count towards his 2nd full count of the game. First time he had a full count, it was a walk to Nick Costello last inning. The payoff pitch from Torres. This one's grounded toward the right side. Smith, the second baseman, picks it up, throws to first, and an out to TJ Clarkson.
It's a really good job by Chris Torres right there. He went ahead in the count 1-2 and then threw 2 pitches that weren't really close to the zone. He let TJ Clarkson get back in the count, but he wasn't afraid to attack the zone on the outside part. It forced Clarkson to roll over, and he got out of the at-bat.
Mason Grotto now up to the plate to face off against Torres for the 3rd time today. He swings at the first pitch, foul down the right field line out of the stadium. 0-1 the count to Mason Grotto. Grotto, his last time up, he was left stranded at 3rd after walking to begin the 4th inning. And now up for the 3rd time. He did fly out in the 1st inning. He was the 2nd out of that inning. He flew out to TJ Foreman as he looks at a pitch just below the knees, and now the count's even 1-1 to Mason Grotto. Grotto, the RBI leader in the CCL, was the batting average leader for a while, but now the RBI king as he grounds it softly in the infield. Torres, the pitcher, picks it up, throws to first. Bobo can't field it correctly, can't get the pick on that, and Grotto's aboard with a soft swinging bunt single.
And it'll be interesting to see if that's credited as a error or a hit, and it is credited as an error. And it's going to be an error on the throw from Torres, but it was a close play. It's one that Brendan Bobo probably picks about 50% of the time. Torres bounced it, and it didn't get any elevation on the hop. Bobo thought it was going to bounce into his glove. It went off the end of the webbing, and he was not able to corral it inside of his mitt.
So 1 out, runner on first, and Mason Grotto after the air. AJ Esperanza at the plate. First pitch swinging as the runner was taken off. He skies it high in the air in foul territory. No, fair territory near the line. The 3rd baseman, Melhoff, fields it, makes the fly out, and a 1 pitch, 1 out to AJ Esperanza.
And so Torres, he's allowed base runners in 5 of his 6 innings so far, but he's been able to maneuver around them. He allowed the second base runner of this inning, similar to the way that the second base runner got on in the 2nd inning. And right now, he's trying to maneuver around this bases on situation as well.
So Justin Trimble at the plate, runner on first in Grotto. 2 outs, Torres on the mound. First pitch, they pitch out, Arrows throws back to first. Try to go back pick. In there safely was Grotto, and 1-0 the count after the throw out. Justin Trimble, he's 0 for 2 today. He lined out to Grant Smith his first time up in the 1st. Then in the 4th, he grounded out to the shortstop JT Naviak as Torres fires back towards first. In there safely is Grotto. Still awaiting the 1-0 is Trimble. Infield shifted. We've seen this all game. Naviak, the shortstop, right around second base to left-handed hitters. Second pitch into Trimble, misses outside, and now the count's 2-0.
Yeah, and right there, Torres is just going to have to get it a little bit down. It was right at the letters on the outside part of the plate, but that's been consistently a ball call all day.
Trimble, who's been a hero for the Blues all season, has a couple of go-ahead and walk-off hits as he looks at the third pitch to him. Misses away, 3-0 the count. The Oaks, they went and played San Luis Obispo at San Luis Obispo a couple weeks ago. The game prior to that game against the Oaks, he had hit a walk-off hit in that game. Now a 3-0 count to him with a runner on first and 2 outs, and the fourth pitch is a walk after the ball missed low. 4-pitch walk, and now 2 runners on and 2 outs.
And that's going to prompt a mound meeting from pitching coach Scott Rudensky. He's going to come out to talk to Chris Torres. And right there, I think it's evident that in Chris Torres' starts, he's been fantastic to start them off, and then once he starts to get tired, it's where the runs start to score. It's what happened against the SLO Blues when he gave up 5 earned on July 9th. It's what happened against the Ventura Pirates, where he gave up his 2 earned on July 3rd, and it happened again against the Santa Barbara Grizzlies when they came to town on June 27th. So, right now, Rudensky trying to make sure that Torres, after a 4-pitch walk, isn't fading down the stretch because he's kept his pitch count really low. He only has about 72 pitches to this point in the game. Just keeping him in check and making sure that he's comfortable on the mound.
73 pitches for Torres as Austin Kretzmar stepping up to the plate. 15 pitches in this inning for Chris Torres, and now 2 runners on. Grotto at second, Trimble at first after the walk. And now Kretzmar up today for the 3rd time, looking at even this game at 1-1. First pitch to him, misses high above the letters. 1-0 the count. Kretzmar today, a line out to left field to Austin Carrillo, which Carrillo made a heck of a play running towards his right side. Got Kretzmar out for the first out in the second, and then Kretzmar flew out to TJ Foreman to end the 4th. The 1-0 pitch bounces in the dirt, and 6 straight balls for Chris Torres.
Yeah, and we saw a stretch of 6 straight balls from Mike Gutierrez in the 4th inning. He bounced back, and after he got down 2-0 to JT Naviak, he ended up striking Naviak out. Torres would love to do the same here.
So Kretzmar at the plate, the 2-0 count, the runners at first and second. The pitch from Torres. Looked at, called for a strike, 2-1 the count. Kretzmar yesterday, he had a 3-for-5 day against the Barons. He scored a run and had 2 RBIs. He's been on a hitting streak as he's had a hit in each of his last 5 games. Had 2 hits in the games against the Riptide and Saints July 17th and 18th. 1 hit from the 20th to 22nd, and now 3 hits yesterday, looking for his first hit here today. Wind blowing towards right field as normal here at Cal Lutheran. The 2-1 pitch. This one's grounded right back to Torres. He flips it over to first. The play is made, and the inning is over. So, the Oaks, they're still leading 1-0. They leave 2 runners stranded, and Torres gets out of it. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning here on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you here as the Conejo Oaks, they're leading 1-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Oaks, they scored 1 run in the bottom of the 5th inning. Now looking to extend their lead a little bit more. Chris Torres, he's been dominant today. He threw 6 scoreless innings that only allowed 2 hits. Was able to work out of a 2-runner jam as they had 2 runners on, 1 at second, 1 at first in the 6th. Able to get Austin Kretzmar to ground out right back to him, and that ended the inning. Brendan Durfee, Anson Arrows, and Brendan Bobo due up for the Oaks. They're facing off against a new pitcher in Sam Page. First pitch to Durfee almost hits him. Does not as he got out of the way in a hurry. 1-0 the count. Sam Page, the right-hander on the mound for the Blues. His last time he pitched was July 10th, so that was 14 days ago against the Conejo Oaks. In that game against the Oaks, that was the game the Oaks won 14-5. He pitched 2 1/3 innings, gave up 3 runs, did have 3 strikeouts though. Off-speed pitch to Durfee after missing on the first pitch. That one is called for a strike. 1-1 the count. Page on the year 1-0 with a 4.35 ERA, so he's pitched in 9 games, 10 1/3 innings pitched as a ball bounces in, and now 2-1 the count to Brendan Durfee.
And so Sam Page, his outing today started almost identical to his outing when he came out against the Oaks on July 10th, where he started off through a pitch behind his catcher, and then he allowed a run to score off of that.
This one hits Durfee as it bounced and hit him. He's going to first on a hit by pitch. A couple of wild pitches thrown by Sam Page, and now a runner at first to lead off this inning for the Oaks.
And Page, he's just been having trouble locating the strike zone against the Oaks. And it's been to start out performances. After, in that July 10th game, after he got out of that 3rd inning, he was able to locate the ball a little bit better throughout the zone. But starting out innings against the Oaks, he just hasn't been able to locate his pitches incredibly well.
15 strikeouts on the year for Sam Page, but does have 10 walks in those 10 1/3 innings pitch. He walked 2 batters against the Oaks, and consistently throughout the season, he's walked about 2 batters per game. In each of his last 4 outings, he's walked 2 batters. Here has a hit by pitch as Anson Arrows check swings, fouls off the first pitch to him. 0-1 the count. Pinch runner now at first. I believe it's Scott Radinsky Jr. He's over at first, pinch running for Brendan Durfee, the DH. 0-1 the count to Anson Arrows. Pitch to Arrows, bounces. Great stop by Armstrong. Staying at first is Radinsky, and now the count's even 1-1. Had Scott Radinsky Jr. on the broadcast yesterday. Now he's on the field at first. Anson Arrows at the plate. Radinsky, he's going to steal. Radinsky, he goes, slides into second. Is he out? He's safe. The throw beat him, but he was able to slide past the bag, got there safely, and now Arrows has a runner in scoring position and a 2-1 count.
That was a great slide by Radinsky. He slid around the tag, was able to get into the base safely, and now he puts a runner in scoring position with no one down.
So Radinsky pinch runs, steals second base, and now he puts himself in scoring position with nobody out. Arrows teased today. He had a single in his last at bat in the 4th. He had a fly out to the third baseman in the 2nd. The 2-1 pitch almost hits Arrows as he had to jump out of the batter's box. Similar to Brendan Durfee the first time he saw a pitch from Page, and Page, he's been struggling bouncing pitches in, and now a 3-1 count to Anson Arrows.
And that's been 4 pitches in the first 2 batters from Sam Page that have bounced on the inside part of the plate to a left-handed batter.
3-1 the count. The pitch to Arrows. Looked at, did not swing. It was a ball, and now Arrows, a 5-pitch at bat, ends in a walk.
And so the Oaks, they're trying to continue to stay productive against Sam Page. And right now, Page, he's only thrown 2 strikes so far, and one of them was a check swing from Arrows that ran up and tight, that on the half swing where Arrows didn't break his wrists, it ended up hitting his bat. So he only located one pitch in the zone, and that was to Brendan Durfee. So if I'm Brendan Bobo right here, who already has a 4-pitch walk in this game, I'm looking at a lot of pitches until I see strikes.
So Page, the right-hander, he's facing off against his third straight lefty as he faced off against Durfee, which he hit on the 4th pitch to him. Then Anson Arrows, a 5-pitch at bat that ended in a walk. Arrows, the switch hitter, so was batting on the right side of the plate. And now a mound meeting between the coach of the Blues.
Yeah, that's Bill Pintard.
So Pintar going to go talk things over with Page. And he's going to get the ball from him. So a pitching change incoming for the Blues. We're going to step aside. 2 runners on for the Oaks. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1-0 the score. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Matt Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. So Sam Page, he came in, started this inning, but a hit by pitch to Brendan Durfee and then a 5-pitch walk to Anson Arrows made him be pulled. So 2 batters, 0 outs, 2 runners on left responsible for him, and a new pitcher on the mound in Miller Plyman.
Yeah, and Plyman has been fantastic all year. Through his first 9 appearances, he had not given up a single run, but in his last 2, he's had 4 earned runs split between them.
So Radinsky on second, Arrows at first, swing and a miss from Bobo at the first pitch to him. 0-1 the count. Plyman this season, he came in with a 1-1 record, a 1.80 ERA in the 11 games that he's pitched in, 20 innings pitched on the year, 19 strikeouts, only 4 walks, but he has given up 20 hits in those 20 innings, so averaging about 1 hit per inning. Bobo at the plate, 0-1 the count, as the second pitch to him, he swings and misses on a similar pitch to him, and now the count's 0-2 quickly. Plyman, his last 2 times out were both of his decisions, so he had a win against the Riptide in that 8-4 victory for the Blues on July 17th. Pitched 3 2/3 innings in that game. Gave up 2 runs on 5 hits in those 3 2/3 innings. His last time out was against the Foresters, and he pitched 1 1/3 inning in that. got the loss after giving up 2 runs on 4 hits in the 7 batters he faced. Bobo looks at a pitch. It nearly hit him inside, and now the count's 1-2. Bobo today.
Well, that pitch was exactly where the first two were. Brendan Bobo, he learned about the arm slot and the pitch location and how the pitch moved from Plyman. After swinging at 2 pitches that missed the zone in an identical spot, he then looked at the pitch, not going down swinging.
The 1-2 to Bobo. Swing and a miss, and Plyman gets a strikeout. So Bobo today, he's 0 for 2. He had a walk in the 4th, but a ground out in the 2nd and a strikeout here in the 6th, and a key spot on the 4th pitch to him from Plyman. And now 1 out with 2 runners on. Radinsky still at 2nd, Arrows at 1st. And now coming up to the plate, JT Naviak, who coming into this game was red hot, but today he just hasn't been that. A fly out to the shortstop in the 2nd and a strikeout swinging in the 4th. Needs a big hit here as this team only has a 1-0 lead here in the 6th. Plyman, the right-hander versus the right-handed hitter in Naviak. First pitch to him, bounces in, and 1-0 to Naviak. So, in this inning so far, Durfee was hit by a pitch. Radinsky then pinch ran for him. Anson Arrows, the catcher, he then had a 5-pitch walk, and now a strikeout to Bobo. Naviak at the plate. The 1-0 pitch, Naviak grounds it foul off of himself right at the dirt at the plate, and now the count's quickly even 1-1 with 1 out.
And that pitch looked like it was coming right down the middle, but the changeup from Plyman dropped just below the zone when it was coming to the plate. Naviak thought it was going to be a meaty pitch that he could send into the outfield, ended up getting a piece of it. Still fouling the ball, getting a piece of it with his bat, but not putting much wood on it.
1-1 the count, 1 out, the pitch to Naviak. Naviak swings at a pitch that was inside. He fouls it off, and now the count's 1-2. Miller Plyman, the Oaks, they saw him on July 4th in that win 6-5 for the Blues. That was a back-and-forth game the whole game. Pitched 1 inning, saw 5 batters, struck out 0, but had a walk in those 5 batters. So right here has 2 runners on. The 1-2, Naviak check swing, he got the bat, and now the 5th pitch incoming to Naviak. He saw 1 for a ball, 2 for strikes, and now a foul off here. Melhoff, the man on deck, he goes and retrieves the ball. The Oaks, they scored 1 run in the 5th on an RBI single by Grant Smith with 2 outs. Now 1 out here, a 1-2 count. The pitch to Naviak. Looks at it, it misses low and outside, and now the count's even 2-2.
And that pitch right there was a very similar pitch than what Naviak struck out on in the 4th inning. Right there, it was a fastball that was diving away from the zone. Naviak didn't offer, and it just was right outside that low and outside corner.
2-2 the count. Plyman looks back towards second, now fires towards the dish. Misses, bounces in, and Naviak, he now has a full count. 7th pitch incoming to him, so he fouled off a ball with a 1-2 count, and now back-to-back balls from Plyman. The count is full. It's a crucial inning in this game.
Second full count for Naviak he's seen, and the second time he's had a runner in scoring position when he's seen it.
The payoff pitch. Naviak grounds it towards the left side, fielded by Mercado. He flips it towards second. The throw to first is not going to be there as Arrows is out at second, as Grotto was there. Didn't have a play at first, and Naviak hits into a fielder's choice play, but advances the runner, Radinsky, to third.
That's a great play by Anson Arrows on the slide. He didn't slide into the man, but he slid on top of the bag, and it wasn't going to be a clean transition for Grotto at second base, and that's exactly what Bill Pintard is coming out to talk about with the second base umpire. Arrows, he slid onto the bag, and Grotto, he got to the base before the throw was there, so he had to stop on the bag. He wasn't having his momentum transition to go through the bag, so he ran into Arrows. It wasn't a lot of contact, but it was enough so that the transition on the relay throw couldn't be made to first to get out Naviak.
20 pitches in this inning so far as Pintar's talking to the second base umpire. Everybody else is waiting. 2 outs, runners at the corner, so Last inning, the Oaks, they had 2 outs to start. Melhoff, who's up to the plate now, he was the first out in the inning. He grounded out to the first baseman on an unassisted play. Clarkson, that was, fielded it, tapped on first. Then T.J. Foreman was the next batter. He grounded out to the shortstop. Austin Carrillo then had a first pitch to him that he swung at, sent it down the left field line. That resulted in a 2-out double for Carrillo. Carrillo then came around to score on the RBI single by Grant Smith. That's been the only run of the game so far. So 1-0 the score here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
The umpires, they're meeting, and I presume it is going to be about the slide. They call the runner at second base out, and they call the runner at first base safe. So they got the call on the field to right. They had to discuss to make sure that what the second base umpire saw was the same as what the home plate and first base umpire also concluded.
So now Melhoff comes up. 2 runners on, 1 at third, 1 at first. Another crucial moment with 2 outs for the Conejo Oaks. And now here, Melhoff at the plate. Pitch to him, swing and a miss on the first pitch, and 0-1 the count. Melhoff, we mentioned last time, grounded out to the first baseman on unassisted play. The first time up, though, he did hit a single. That was in the 3rd. But he was picked off by Gutierrez, the starting pitcher. And now has a 0-1 count with 2 outs. The pitch. Melhoff grounds it towards the right side. Clarkson fields it, taps on the bag, and back-to-back 3 unassisted plays by Melhoff. And it leaves 2 runners on for the Oaks. We head to the 7th, 1-0 the score. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano. Ryan, you gave me a 0-0 game. I give you a 1-0 game. It is your turn for play-by-play again.
And it's Cole Baker's turn to take his shot on the mound. Chris Torres' day is done, and without a doubt, Torres' best start of the season. First batter of the inning, he squares to bunt, fouls it straight back into the screen. It's Nick Costello, the count 0-1. Torres today, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 4 walks, 0 earned runs. That came in 6 innings pitched of 77 pitch baseball. A phenomenal outing from him. 24 batters is how many he saw. Nick Costello, he's the only one who's reached base both times he's come to the dish today. Fouls one down the line outside of the chalk. It was a close play, but ended up drifting. Foul down the left field line. His first time up, Costello, he singled in the second inning, and then in the fifth, he led off the inning with a walk, but was stranded on third base. Cole Baker, the man on the hill from Ole Miss. The 0-2, swing and a miss. The first strikeout of the day for the Oaks comes as the first strikeout of the 7th inning to Cole Baker, who sits down Nick Costello on 3 consecutive pitches. That is his 16th strikeout of the season.
And that was a fastball that he just blazed right by Costello. On the board here at Cal Lutheran, it registered at 91 miles per hour, so that 90 heat for Cole Baker.
First pitch to Mark Armstrong, lined in the gap between shortstop and third. It gets into left field, and a single for Mark Armstrong is the first time he's reached base today. First pitch swinging, first base occupied.
And right there, the shift was just on towards the right side of the infield. Naviak, who would normally be standing right where that ball was hit, was shaded over towards the second base side a little bit, which we've seen from the Oaks all game. They've been shifting towards the right side for every left-handed batter. And right here, Armstrong goes opposite way, right to the gap where the shortstop should have been, and a single for him on the first pitch.
Ruben Mercado watches the first pitch miss high, the count 1-0. Mercado today, he's 0 for 2. Grounded out to Brendan Bobo, and grounded out to Greg Melhoff. Cole Baker, on the season, he has a 238 earned run average. As Mercado squares to bunt, puts it down, but in foul territory, so the count is 1-1. He's only given up earned runs in one performance. That came against the Blues. That was on July 2nd. He gave up 3 earned runs in a 5-4 loss against San Luis Obispo. He's pitched against the Blues twice, 5 1/3 innings total. The only earned runs, of course, the runs that he gave up in that July 2nd performance. Swing and a miss from Mercado. The count 1-2. And in the July 10th performance, in which the Oaks won 14-5, Baker pitched 3 innings, didn't allow a single hit. He only allowed a walk for his base runner that was credited to him, and then 3 strikeouts in the game, faced 11 batters. First base is Mark Armstrong. The plate, Mercado, and a 1-2 count. The pitch, swing and a miss. Mercado waves at one, and Cole Baker with his second strikeout of the inning. 4 pitches this time, and there's 2 outs now as the lineup turns over.
Yeah, and that third pitch to Mercado registered at 93 miles per hour on the board, and then he got him whiffing on one that registered at 79 miles per hour. So if you go from that 93 heat to 79, that's a 14 mile per hour difference, and man, you could see why he just whiffed on it right there.
And so the board here at Cal Lutheran, their miles per hour, as the first pitch to Cermak is cut through and missed. That was an off-speed pitch. The runner goes to second base. It looked like there was a balk recorded to Cole Baker. Or maybe he just, yes, there was a balk. There was a balk, so that pitch didn't count. So the count is still 0-0. The board at Cal Lutheran, sometimes it's not completely accurate, but it looks like so far today it's been, for the most part, pretty spot on. So now there's a runner at second base. First pitch to Cermak, fouled straight back. So the count 0-1 to Ryan Cermak. And so that is the third time that the Oaks have been called for a balk in the last 2 games. Yesterday, they were called once. It was overturned. Then called a second time. That one stood. This time, a runner advances from first to second base on the balk. Cermak so far today, he's flown out 3 times, twice to Raul Sandoval and once to Austin Carrillo. The 0-1 misses low, the count 1-1. In the last at-bat for Cermak, he almost gave San Luis Obispo a lead with a 2-run homer, but warning track power to dead left field, which in most parks would have cleared the fence. Baker checks the runner, goes to dish, the 1-1 misses outside. The count is 2-1 for Baker.
And that balk is really crucial because he had a runner on and 2 outs prior to that, and because of the balk, you put the tying run in scoring position, so any base hit right here at the top of the order coming up against Baker is huge because that could result in a run.
2-1, catches the zone on the outside corner, right where Antoneros wanted it, so the count is 2-2. Cermak looking at a 2-2 count, trying not to go down for the 4th time today. On the season, Cermak has struck out 15 times. The 2-2, Baker breaking ball, inside and high. So the count has run full the first time Cole Baker has seen a full count. Chris Torres right now, if the score holds, would be on the hook for the win. Cole Baker trying to get the hold and potentially the save, depending how deep his outing goes. The 3-2 pitch, line into left field. Carrillo going back, makes the play, and the wind at Cal Lutheran steals probably 2 hits away from Ryan Cermak, but the Oaks are going to take it as they get out of the inning with just 1 hit given up and 1 runner left on. To the bottom of the 7th we go. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Oaks trying to add some insurance. TJ Foreman, 9-hole hitter leading it off, and then Carrillo and Smith turn the lineup over. Those are the men due up here in the 7th inning. Miller Plyman still on the hill. He got out of a jam in the 6th, came in with no outs and 2 runners on. Foreman looks at the first pitch below the knees, a ball, the count 1-0. Plyman, after Radinsky was on second and Arrows was on first, was able to strike out Brendan Bobo, get Naviak to ground into a fielder's choice, and then get Greg Melhoff to ground out to first base. The 1-0, Foreman grounds one outside of the bag at third. Krutzmar fields it, but in foul territory, so the count is 1-1. TJ Foreman so far today, he's had 2 at-bats. He's seen 3 pitches in all of them. Flew out to center field in the first one in the third, and then grounded out to shortstop in the 5th. TJ Foreman, he's been on a little bit of a cold streak at the plate lately. He's had 1 hit in his last 20 plate appearances. Make it 22 with the 2 outs he's seen today. The 1-1 misses outside. The count is 1-2.
Actually called for a strike.
Called for a strike. Cut the outside corner. So the count is 1-2. Armstrong caught on the lone outside corner. Foreman watched it. The 1-2. Foreman swings and fouls it away. Got away from the catcher. For a second, it looked like a dropped third strike. But a little bit of wood off the end of the bat from Foreman keeps the count alive at 1-2.
Yeah, and Foreman right there, that was just trying to stay alive and survive in that bat. The pitch was inside, but he just swung at it to try to battle it off a little bit. Now the fifth pitch incoming towards him.
The 1-2. Foreman on a pitch inside grounds it into the Oaks dugout. The Oaks players get out of the way. No one struck, and the count is still 1-2.
And if I'm Plyman right here, Foreman, he's been swinging at those pitches inside, and he's been battling them out. I got to think that he's got to go something off speed towards the outer part of the plate and try to get Foreman to chase here. You have a 1-2 count, so it's a favorable count to himself. And so for him, if he's trying to get this out, you got to go off speed.
The 1-2. Foreman bounces one outside of the bag at third. Kretschmar gave it a look, but it bounced right outside. Clay Rickerman, the lone man in the Oaks pen. He's not warming up, but he's the one who fields the ball. The last line of defense, saving Nick Costello from having to go run all the way down the left field line to go retrieve it. Nick should give Clay a thank you. Count still alive, 1-2. Foreman has fouled off 3 pitches already. Cannot foul this one off. A dropped third strike, but the tag is applied from Armstrong. 7 pitches and a strikeout to TJ Foreman. He's 0 for 3 on the day, and that is the second strikeout of the game for Plyman.
Yeah, and right there, Foreman, he had another pitch that was inside. He swung at, and that was really what he was eager to swing at. Right there, Plyman knew it, got him to swing, and got him to miss finally after he fouled off 3 straight pitches with 2 strikes.
Austin Carrillo, the left-hander, is going to be the third left-hander that Plyman has faced in his outing. Plyman got out Brendan Bobo and Greg Melhoff. Austin Carrillo, he's proven to be a harder out today. He's 2 for 3. He scored the only run for the Oaks. That was in the 5th inning after he got on with a 2-out double. He was driven in with a Grant Smith single. Carrillo watches a pinch, run outside, the count 1-0. Carrillo also singled with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Was not able to be advanced. The only time he got out was to lead off the game. He grounded out to the second baseman. The 1-0. Carrillo, check swing, it runs outside. He didn't go around, the count 2-0. So the Oaks, they're out hitting the Blues 5-2. There's also an error credited to the Oaks, so that was on Chris Torres on the throw to first. The 2-0 runs outside, goes to the backstop, and Carrillo ahead 3-0. This is the first time that Plyman has not gotten ahead in the count. Plyman, he's walked just 4 batters on the season. You don't see him go behind like this often. Carrillo, he walks almost as much as any other Oak. Not quite like what we've seen from Zach Greger or Hunter Call, but pretty darn close. The 3-1 called a strike on the outside part of the plate, the count 3-1. Carrillo has 11 walks on the season. He's tied with Grant Smith for 3rd place on the team. So the count 3-1 to Carrillo. He's trying to get aboard in the hitter's count. Outfield shaded significantly to the pull side. The 3-1 line into left field over the glove of Kretschmar, and Carrillo is on for the 3rd time today. 3 consecutive hits for Austin Carrillo. That leadoff spot has been lovely for him. He continues to be effective at the top of the order.
Yeah, it is. And the first time he was in the leadoff spot was 2 games ago. He had 3 singles and 2 stolen bases in that one. This time he has a single in the 3rd, a double in the 5th, which he came around to score, so 1 run for him, and now another single here in the 7th. And, you know, why not? Put him at the leadoff spot. He's been so good in that position so far in the 2 games and just keeps it up here in the 7th.
Grant Smith, first pitch to him, grounded right back up the middle. Plyman fields it, goes to second. Mercado, the relay to first. in time, and the Carrillo single for naught as the next pitch, Grant Smith grounds into a 1-6-3 double play. The Oaks can't scratch any across after one hit, no errors, and no one left on base. Top of the 8th inning, Cole Baker trying to protect a one-run cushion when we come back on the Oaks live stream. Back here for the top of the 8th inning. TJ Clarkson, Mason Grotto, AJ Esperanza, the meat of the Blues order, facing off against Cole Baker. First pitch misses, elevated to Clarkson. The count 1-0. Clarkson reached base his first time up with a single, yet to reach base again after a fly out and a ground out. The 1-0 catches the zone. Count 1-1 at the knees. Clarkson looked at it. So Clarkson, he got ahead in the count in the 3rd inning. Had a long count in the 6th where it ran full. The 1-1 in there for a strike. He gets behind here in the count in the 8th inning after Baker comes back from 1-0 to throw 2 straight strikes. Baker ended off the 7th inning after 2 strikeouts with a full count. He got Ryan Cermak to fly out. The 1-2, too far up, takes arrows out of his stance. The count 2-2. Clarkson trying to spark life for the Blues. 6 outs to score 1 run for San Luis Obispo to get back into this game. If they're going to do it, most likely scenarios with this order, grounded out to Naviak, makes the play, throws to first. Routine play for the shortstop, and the first out of the inning leads way to Mason Grotto.
Yeah, and it is a one-run game, and every at-bat versus a lefty is so crucial, especially here at Cal Lutheran. And with a pitcher like Cole Baker that throws high heat, any ball that's hit off the bat is going to have a lot of velocity, and those left-handed hitters, they have the favor because the wind pulls towards right field, and they could tie it up with a home run.
First pitch to Grotto in there for a strike, the count 0-1. Baker, his first inning of work was just 14 pitches. That strike, his 6th pitch of this inning, so 20 total for the Ole Miss man. The 0-1, Grotto watches it inside, it misses the plate. Count 1-1. Big gap in left center field. Bobo at first base has to cover a lot of ground on the right side of the infield as Baker leaves one too far up. Grant Smith standing almost directly behind that second base bag, and then Naviak and Melhoff perusing around the left side of the infield. The 2-1. Grotto gets brushed back. The pitch left inside, the count 3-1. It's coming right at the hip of Mason Grotto. An athletic play to get out of the way.
Yeah, it almost hit him. I mean, we've seen several pitches, especially from Sam Page, who we saw for the Blues. He had a couple of pitches that were similar to that almost hit batters, and right there, he dodged out of the way from Baker's pitch.
Clay Rickerman, he trots to the pen. He's going to start to get loose. The 3-1. Lined right back up the middle, but the defensive positioning by Grant Smith is right there to steal a hit from Mason Grotto. Second out of the inning. That was a single against any defense except for the one the Oaks put on.
Yep, and the Oaks, they've been doing this defense all game, and, you know, sometimes it pays off like that, and sometimes they're allowed a single, like we saw from the previous inning from Armstrong, but right there, the positioning worked out perfectly. They get the line out, and quickly 2 outs on 10 pitches.
That brings up A.J. Esperanza. First pitch to him, misses high and away, the count 1-0. Esperanza walked his first time up in the first inning. Flew out on the infield his last time up and also grounded out to Grant Smith. The 1-0. Grounded to the right side. Brendan Bobo makes the play. Going to be a tight play at the back. Bobo takes it himself. Beats the runner by a step in a 1-2-3 inning for Cole Baker. 3 outs left for the Blues to come back. But the Oaks, they're trying to add insurance in the bottom of the 8th inning when we come back on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Raul Sandoval leads off the bottom of the 8th inning. There's going to be a pinch hitter on deck. Scott Rudinsky pinch ran for Brendan Durfee. It looks like Andrew Sharp is in the on-deck circle. First pitch to Sandoval off the hands and back into the screen. The count 0-1. Raul Sandoval so far today has flown out twice. He's also struck out in his last at-bat. He had been doing a better job as of late, not going down via the strikeout. He struck out in the last at-bat yesterday. Struck out again here today. As Sandoval bounces one down the third base line, but it's foul. So the count 0-2 to Raul Sandoval. On the season, Sandoval has 27 strikeouts. And it is going to be Andrew Sharp who is on deck. So the next batter after Raul Sandoval is going to be Sharp. He's going to have to face off against Miller Plyman, who has been stellar He's gotten 3 consecutive outs in both innings that he has appeared in. Got out of the jam in the 6th, the 1-2-3 inning in the 7th. Sandoval swings and misses, and a 3-pitch strikeout for Raul. He goes down swinging, and that is the 3rd strikeout of the day for Plyman.
And Plyman, he's been impressive, and right there, Sandoval 3 pitches and a strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts for Sandoval, especially after a day yesterday where he was swinging the bat so good with a single and a double, but today just hasn't been his day. 2 flyouts, 2 strikeouts, and his hitting struggles seem to be back here as he moved to the 3-hole spot instead of that 4-hole positioning.
Andrew Sharp, he hasn't seen as much playing time as of late, but has seen the plate in 2 consecutive days now. Yesterday, he saw the plate as he fouls one into the screen, 0-1 the count. He pinch hit for TJ Foreman, who originally pinch hit for Hunter Call. Sharp was part of a 3 consecutive strikeout chain to end the day against the Saints. He's batting .216 on the year. The 0-1 catches the plate on the inside half. Sharp did not offer, so the count 0-2. Sharp struck out 16 times on the season, trying not to make it number 17. Clarkson, Grotto, Mercado, Kretschmar, that's the infield for the Blues. The 0-2 fought off, skied out of play towards the softball field off the left side, so the count is still 0-2. Trimble, Cermak, Costello from right to left in the outfield. Home plate umpire needs new balls. Tobias Plotkin gives it to him. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Oaks lead 1-0 over the San Luis Obispo Blues. Mike Gutierrez on the hook for the loss if the score were to hold. Sharp grounds the 0-2 into the Blues dugout, so he stayed alive with 2 foul balls. Seen 4 pitches in the at-bat, all of them strikes. Anson Arrows on deck.
And you love to see this response from Sharp after yesterday's at-bat. Yesterday he started up 3-0 and then 3 straight pitches, and then he swung at the 3rd one for a strikeout. Right here, he's able to battle and now foul off a couple of pitches.
The 0-2 again runs off the plate, so Sharp, you mentioned yesterday he got down 3-0. Here down 0-2, trying to work his way back the other way from behind in the count. Now the count is 1-2. The Oaks' 1 run came in the 5th inning. That was off a Grant Smith 2-out RBI single, which plated Austin Carrillo. The 1-2, swing and a miss from Andrew Sharp. He goes down swinging, and back-to-back strikeouts for Plyman. That makes it 4 on the day for Miller.
And he just got Sharp swinging at a ball in the dirt. Sharp was fooled. It's another strikeout, and back-to-back strikeouts here in the 8th.
That brings up Anson Arrows. So far today, Arrows has reached base 2 times, a single. That was in the 3rd inning. That was in the 4th inning. He also walked in the 6th. His first time up, he flew out on the infield. He's worked at-bats long in this game as the first pitch to him misses. Low and inside, the count 1-0. His first at-bat, he saw 8 pitches on a full count. Flew out in foul territory. Kretschmar made an athletic play down in the Oaks bullpen in order to save the at-bat. The 0-1 lined into the Oaks bullpen again. It will go over the fence and onto the cages. So the count 1-1.
Landed right on top of the cages. I think that's the first time all season I've seen that.
And I think that ball was pretty much lost. You can see it, but it's just as good as lost, as Arrows skied high back out of play, the count 1-2. It's almost worse when you see a baseball and can't get to it than if you don't know where it is at all, because it's just enticing.
You want to get it, yeah, definitely.
It might take a operation of projectiles where the bat can go and hit it off at the top. And I believe that Hunter Call is actually walking down looking for the ball, trying to find where it is. Hunter, it's on top of the batting cages.
You know, Ryan, I think he can hear you.
I might need to call him. The 1-2. Arrows, swings, misses, and Plyman strikes out the side consecutively, gets out of the 8th inning, and now 3 outs. Cole Baker's coming back onto the hill, trying to get the save against the Blues when we come back in the 9th inning. Welcome into the 9th inning. The Oaks, they need to get 3 outs without allowing a run. Justin Trimble, Austin Kretschmar, Nick Costello standing in the way. First pitch in there for a strike. The count 0-1 to Trimble. Cole Baker, he is still on the hill. Through his first 2 innings of work, he allowed 1 hit that came in the 7th inning to Mark Armstrong. Since then, he's retired 5 consecutive batters. The 0-1. Grounded outside of the bag at third. Baker quickly up 0-2 in the count. The Oaks trying to pitch a shutout. A 1-run shutout. They have not pitched a shutout all season. They've been shut out once. That was by Arroyo Seco. The 0-2 grounded to Grant Smith. He squeezes it, throws to first in time to get him. So 2 more outs standing in the way of an Oaks and a 1-0 victory. This game ever important for CCL standings, ever important if the Oaks are trying to make the playoffs. Currently, Conejo holds a half-game lead over Orange County. The Oaks are 10-12. Orange County is 10-13. Conejo is chasing San Luis Obispo. The Blues, they're 12-11 in conference play. They're a game and a half up of the Oaks. If the Oaks win this game, they move within a half game of San Luis Obispo. Austin Kretschmar, he's coming to the plate. He's 0 for 3 today. 2 flyouts and a ground out back to the pitcher. First pitch, check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Strike 1. The count 0-1.
And Baker, this inning, is yet to throw a ball. A first pitch strike to Kretzmar, had 3 pitches to Trimble, 2 strikes, and a ground out. And man, he's working through. He's been impressive and got to stay impressive.
The 0-1 runs outside.
Announcer's
Broadcaster's jinx. The 1-1 to Kretschmar. Kretschmar hasn't seen an at-bat of over 4 pitches yet today. He's been attacking pitches early. Has not swung at a pitch yet in this at-bat. The 1-1 runs outside. 2 consecutive balls. Baker, he's not happy with himself. The count is 2-1. The Oaks trying to stay in playoff positioning, trying to move within San Luis Obispo, trying to separate themselves from Orange County. The 2-1, Baker breaking ball just inside. The count 3-1. So after Knight said that he hadn't thrown a ball in the inning, he throws 3 consecutive.
This isn't on me.
Clay Rickerman, he's still warming up in case Baker gets into a jam. The 3-1 right down the middle. Count is 3-2. A full count to Austin Kretschmar. Baker trying to get out of this at-bat. 15 strikeouts on the season for Baker. Add the 2 he's already had today, that makes it 17. The pitch, swing and a miss. 18 strikeouts on the season, 3 strikeouts on the day, and 1 more out for Cole Baker to try to get out of this game against San Luis Obispo with a shutout. It's going to be a pinch hitter coming to the plate. That's Vince Martinez, pinch hitting for Nick Costello. Costello, he was 2 for 3 in on-base percentage on the day. Martinez, he is a usual player in the lineup for SLO, but he did not get the start today. Martinez, a Stanford product. He's batting on the season, 276. The pitch, breaking ball high, the count 1-0.
And that one there just ran outside of the hands of Baker. Slipped a little bit as he missed high, but right now, biggest at-bat of the game, and it's huge right now.
The 1-0. Martinez looks at it, catches the plate, a strike, the count 1-1. Chris Torres, he went 6 shutout innings. So far for Baker, 2 2/3 shutout. He needs 1 more out. The Oaks have only given up 3 hits so far on the game. The 1-1 fouled straight back, and San Luis Obispo is down to their final strike. Martinez, on the season, he struck out 20 times. Cole Baker trying to get his 4th strikeout of the day. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Infield shifted to the pull side to a right-handed hitter. Wind blowing out to right field. The 1-2. Baker misses high. The count is 2-2. 2 outs. Justin Trimble grounded out to Smith. Austin Kretschmar struck out on a full count. Vince Martinez, the 2-2. Grounds one down the third base line. And it's going to touch the bag. It's fair. And the tying run is on first base. A swinging bunt that just rolls right down the line. He somehow stays alive in the count. He somehow gets aboard. And Cole Baker is going to have to get his final out against Mark Armstrong.
And I don't know right there why Melhoff doesn't charge that ball and try to pick it up. That ball is a slow roller down the line, and I know that he wants it to go foul and try to get it, but that ball looked like it was going to stay fair from the get-go, and right there, Melhoff just let it walk. I think that if he charges on that ball, he picks it up and then throws across the diamond, he makes that play.
Well, there was no play. I don't think there was a play. He was back. He was not shaded in. It was a slow roller. Cole Baker's day is done. He pitched 2 2/3. He allowed 2 hits. Clay Rickerman is coming to the hill. 1 final out for Rickerman to get. We'll come back. Clay Rickerman versus Mark Armstrong for the game on the Oaks live stream. Ninth inning. The Blues are down to their final out. Pinch hitter for Mark Armstrong. It's Vince Bologna. New pitcher on the hill for the Oaks. It's Clay Rickerman. Rickerman, he picked up a save against Orange County. First pitch. Swing and a miss. The count 0-1. Torres went 6 innings shutout. Baker went 2 2/3 shutout. Rickerman needs to get 1 out without the runner on first advancing any farther. The pitch grounded outside of the first base bag. The count 0-2. Down to their final strike again is the San Luis Obispo Blues. Vince Bologna trying to get on. He has a .308 batting average on the season. He's had 8 hits and 26 at-bats. 2 RBIs on the year. He struck out 7 times. Rickerman trying to make it an 8th. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. The Oaks win in shutout fashion. They move within a half game of the Blues. Clay Rickerman the save. Cole Baker the hold. And Chris Torres the win. The tightest contested game of the season. They seem to always come against SLO. This one, a pitcher's duel. And the difference, a Grant Smith RBI single, which plated Austin Carrillo. The Oaks win 1-0. The Oaks advance on the season to 11-12 in conference play. Knight, talk about this game.
Yeah, you mentioned it was a pitcher's duel, only 9 hits overall in the game, and the 9th one came here in the 9th inning. That was by the Vince Martinez infield single on that slow dribbler down the line. But overall today, it was great pitching for the Conejo Oaks. Baker came in. He allowed those 2 hits. One was an actual single. One was that slow dribbler. And then Torres, he only allowed 1 hit in his 6 shutout innings. He was so impressive. He got in some trouble a couple of times, but he was able to finagle his way out. And, man, he was impressive day. Torres, a great game. The Oaks, pitching-wise, perfect as they got zeros on the board throughout. And then Austin Carrillo offensively, he had a single in the 3rd, a double in the 5th with 2 outs, and then Grant Smith singled him in, which those 3 pitches, Carrillo swung on the first pitch to him, Grant Smith swung on the second pitch to him. So 3 pitches really decided this game, and that was really all that was for it. Carrillo also had that single in the 7th, so a 3-for-4 day for Austin Carrillo offensively. Grant Smith, we mentioned the RBI single. You have Anson Arrows, who also had a single. But overall today, it was a very impressive performance. The Oaks, they win this game 1-0. And, man, what a game for them to have. And especially with the standings being the way that they are, the Oaks, now they're only half game back from the San Luis Obispo Blues. And the seeding in the playoffs means so much. And having this game for their resume is very impressive.
Chris Torres, he's going to earn the player of the game. The board here at Cal Lutheran is wrong. The Blues actually got 4 hits throughout the game. Torres allowed 2. 1 in the first inning to TJ Clarkson. 1 in the second inning to Nick Costello. Throughout the final 4 innings of work, he didn't allow a single hit. Cole Baker, he allowed a hit in the 7th. The slow dribbler, which counted as a hit, that came in the 9th. So, the Oaks, they pull off the win. A team effort all the way around, but Chris Torres, he was the most stellar. He wins the player of the game. That's going to do it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. A road game in Santa Barbara, 2 p.m., first pitch. Join us there. Ryan Milano, Knight Uretsky. See you tomorrow.